Not all prints are created equal, and every garment isn't intended to be screen printed. At Riche Stitch, choosing the right print method starts with knowing the designer's intentions. This is In the Making, Season 26. One collection, two perspectives, every detail. Print placement isn't just technical, it's about strategy. The right technique can make a basic t-shirt feel high-end, but the wrong technique, that can ruin the entire look. At Riche Stitch, our job is to translate your creative vision into a quality product, and the print method that we choose plays a big role in that. Let's run through some of the best fabrics to print on, the ones that may not be the best, and I'll kind of touch base on which print methods work best for each fabric. But we'll go more into the different print methods in a moment. But fabrics. The best fiber content to print on is going to be 100% cotton. It works with pretty much all of the different print methods. Cotton blends, so like cotton that has poly in it or cotton with spandex. Those will also work pretty well with printing too, depending on the percentages of the fabric. If it's majority cotton, you're good to go. And majority of the print methods will work with cotton blends that have majority cotton. Now for the fabric content that's most people's least favorite, polyester. Polyester can work in certain occasions, so certain print methods will work with polyester, but you want to be careful with some other print methods. So direct to film and screen printing can work, but direct to garment may not be the most recommended option. Same goes for nylon. You want to be careful when printing on nylon. DTF can work, but there are some special requirements there. Spandex you can print on, but again, there's precautions there when printing on spandex, and you're limited on the print methods that you can use when it comes to 100% spandex. Some other good ones along with cotton is going to be canvas. Fleece is a good one to print on. And then denim is always good to print on. But keep in mind, a lot of denim has majority cotton in it. That's why it's good to print on denim. When it comes to like satin and silks, those are a little hard to print on. So I would try to avoid those. Anything that's waterproof or coated, I wouldn't recommend printing on those items. When you're working with fall and winter time, you may have some of those heavier knit items. Those can be difficult to print on, so it's one of the things I would avoid. Now, it is possible, but you want to be careful of the method you're using because you want to make sure whatever method you're using does not crack. And then when it comes to those lighter weight knits, those are also something you want to be careful of because they can pucker up. They'll pucker up especially if you're using heat or like embroidery too. It can pucker up as well. At Riche Stitch, we make sure to help every single one of our designers, our clients, to figure out the best print method for the fabrics they're using. Or if we're at the beginning phases and we already know we're going to be printing on a garment, if there's a specific method you truly want to use because those methods, certain methods last longer than others, we can then adjust the fabric and the fiber content as needed to fit the print method. So that's why you have us, so that way we can guide you in the right direction to make sure the end garment comes out just as you envisioned it. Now here's how we break down every print method we offer and how we determine which method is best for which garment. Let's go into the actual print methods. I'll give you some of the pros and cons of each print method, at least the ones that Riche Stitch offers, and what they're best used for, or like the best fabrics for them. So I'm gonna start with embroidery because that is a very popular one. Embroidery is really good for like branding or if you want some sort of texture to your graphic, so it kind of has like a 3D feel on it. Embroidery is one of the go-tos because of its longevity. Those logos and graphics will last a really long time, especially like after washing multiple times. It also works really good with a lot of fabrics. Some lighter weight fabrics can be a little difficult, but it works with, let's say, fleeces, those heavy knits that I was discussing earlier. It works on cotton, denim, any woven fabrics. So we can make embroidery work with quite a bit, and it doesn't have to be just clothing. It can be on hats, it can be on bags, it can be used in a variety of products. Embroidery is really durable, which is why you can wash it time and time again and it'll still last. And it also has like a premium finish to it. It also has a professional look, which is why it's used a lot of time for uniforms. So embroidery is great for logos and if you're doing anything with thicker fabrics. Now, when it comes to embroidery, if you have very tiny details that you want to add, it may not be the easiest to work with. It may not be as visible. A of whatever that small detail is. Let's say it's like a photo and you're putting eyes on a person, but you have the details in the pupils. It'll be hard to see all of that detail with embroidery. Embroidery can also be expensive. Now, when it comes to embroidery, that's one of those things that usually has a minimum for it. And you're limited in blending different colors. Again, if you're trying to do like a full photographic, embroidery may not be the way to go. Next, we'll go into DTG, which is direct to garment. This is the one you want to use if you're doing photos or like large graphics on a garment, let's say a hoodie or a t-shirt. This is one where it is not great for every fabric because you are actually sending those fabrics through the printer. So this is one you'll want to stick with, let's say like a cotton fabric or even a cotton blend. DTG is good for those very complex graphics that has a lot of colors in it, a lot of details in it, and those small details too. It does have a soft finish to it, so it's not like it's those rough prints. And there's no screen setup like screen printing. This one, you run it through a printer. DTG has a slower printing process than, let's say, vinyl heat press graphics. When it comes to direct to garment prints, washing them time and time again, you may notice colors start to fade over time. So it doesn't last as long as, let's say, embroidery. But this is one of those print methods that you can do and you don't need minimum. So we can do one t-shirt or one hoodie and it's quick and easy to do. And while we're on the topic of the direct print methods, let's go to DTF, which is direct to film. The difference between DTG and DTF is DTG, we run the garment directly through the printer. DTF, it prints on a film and then pressed onto the garment. This one's also very versatile and really good with a lot of different colors. You can do this one on various fabrics too. You can do this one on cotton blends. You can do polyester here, polyester blends. You can also do nylon, but with caution. Now, when it comes to DTF, this one does require the film first and then press onto the garment, so it's not exactly like direct to garment. DTF, to me, you can feel the print on the garment a little more as opposed to DTG. And if it's not properly applied when we're doing the pressing on the garment, it can peel off. But that's something we tell our customers don't worry about. That's something we internally have to worry about. And then the same with DTG, DTF also doesn't last as long as, let's say, embroidery. Over time, you may notice colors start to fade. Then when it comes to vinyl heat presses, we will be doing vinyl heat presses, although it's not our number one go-to print method, but it is something available because it is one of those methods we can do with no minimums. We can do a small, quick run. It's a fast print. But vinyl heat presses are for basic graphics that maybe only have 1 to 2 colors. It'll mainly be for us just a 1 color print, but we can do, let's say, 2 colors if needed. Vinyl heat presses can be done on various fabrics, but with caution considering there's heat involved. So vinyl heat presses is good for simple, basic graphics or text too. It doesn't have to be a full-on image, but text as well, or a logo. It's actually really affordable. It's probably the most affordable print method available that we have. And there's no drying time because it's vinyl and it's pressed right onto the garment. Just keep in mind, vinyl heat presses are not good for complex graphics or several colors. Vinyl over time can crack. So that's also something we pay attention to with the fabrics because we don't want that vinyl to crack after 1 or 2 wears. And it's less breathable. Now, the vinyl that we use at Riche Stitch, it is not one that is scratchy and loud, but you have to be careful with some of the vinyls because you can hear them. It's like running your fingers across a vinyl record. But we do select very specific vinyls here at Riche Stitch that also have stretch, that stretches with your garments to help avoid cracking. Now, one other print method, I'm gonna throw it in here just because it is widely used. At Riche Stitch, we are not offering it at this time. We will in the future. We're just not set up for it yet. But screen printing. Screen printing is a very popular print method. That one is good for large bulk orders, and it's mainly done with like t-shirts, so on cotton blends, and also hoodies. Screen printing is known for its longevity. Those prints usually last a long time. You can wash them and don't have to worry so much about the colors fading right away. Over time, you'll notice it a little bit, but screen prints usually do last a long time. And when you're doing large bulk orders, screen printing is usually the more cost-effective method. Now, the only thing with it is you have that screen setup, which is usually why there are minimums involved because of the extra setup. Screen printing is not the best method for small runs, so anyone doing small MOQs is not ideal because of the extra setup, and it becomes expensive for small orders. It's limited in detail when it comes to those complex designs, and it requires a screen for every color, so when it starts being a lot of colors in your graphic, it starts getting expensive. So that's another reason why we're holding off on screen printing right now, because we're focusing on smaller businesses that are doing smaller quantities. Screen printing will just be too expensive, but it is something that we will add for the future. So at the moment, Riche Stitch will be offering DTG, DTF, embroidery, and vinyl heat presses. Now, whether you come to us with just a sketch or with a completed tech pack, we will guide you through what works best. We won't just take your file and print it. We evaluate it all based off wearability, washability, and the visual impact. We will always let you know if something just won't work out, and we'll also suggest a method that'll be suitable for your vision and your budget. So we've gone through all the different fabric types and what's best for printing and what's not. We've also gone through all of the print methods, which ones Riche Stitch is offering, and then the pros and cons of each of those print methods. Now, I kind of want to recap it for you, but I'm not going to run through them all because you already heard me, but I do want to at least put it on the screen for you so that way you can see it. So you have all the print methods we talked about: the screen printing, DTG, DTF, embroidery, and vinyl heat presses. And you have the best fabrics to use for each method and the worst fabrics to use for each method. Because here at Riche Stitch, this is basically what we are paying attention to when we are setting you up for success. When we are helping work through your production, we're looking at the methods and we're looking at the fabrics and we're figuring out what is going to be best in your scenario. So at least for you as a designer or as the brand, you already have an idea with this chart on the screen of what would be best. So when you are creating your designs, you already have an idea of what type of designs to create or what type of garments to create for certain designs. So you know what fabrics are best and what method is best. Every print method discussed in this video, we do it all in-house. And because we handle it ourselves, that offers faster production times. It offers consistency, and it's easier for us to manage. The best prints start with informed decisions. And at Riche Stitch, we're here to guide you from beginning to end. You can learn more about our printing services at richestitch.com or continue watching In the Making, where we'll dive deeper into our printing methods. Be sure to follow our channel to learn more.